Hey y'all, Big Country here. Welcome back to Big Country Wildlife. Today we are doing a campfire live, so whenever you see a campfire next to me, you already know what we're doing. Alright, let's talk about the wildlife walk for those who participated last week. Not what it was supposed to be, but what it actually was. Some of you guys treated it like a hike, some of you guys treated it like a checklist, and a few of you guys actually paid attention to the environment in real time. It was the same trails, same conditions, completely different levels of awareness. So it wasn't about distance, it wasn't about your fitness level, and it really wasn't even about the hike itself. It was about being able to pay attention to what's already happening around you. Whether that be the terrain changes, whether that be weather movement, sound shifts, animal indicators, or even the type of gear you bring, depending on the conditions you're in. With that being said, let's get into what showed up in your guys' wildlife walk. So the first group of people sounded like this. It was a lot of submissions like this. It was quiet, saw some animals, nice weather, and the trail was pretty. This isn't wrong, it's just not useful because you're not describing change, you're just describing your presence. And then we had a second group of people who said wind dropped near tree line transition, bird activity increased near water edge, footing changed from compact soil to loose rock, and a layer adjustment needed due to temperature shift. So this is where information starts to become useful. It's not perfect, but it's structured. And then we had an even smaller group that really locked in. And they said noise dampened significantly under dense canopy, small animal movement became audible, deer tracks present along soft mud edge, direction indicating cross-trail movement, temperature drop correlated with elevation gain and reduced sun exposure. So this is the standard we're moving towards. All right, so here's the key takeaway from the wildlife walk. Most people aren't missing information because there's nothing there. They're missing it because they just don't have a system to be able to notice it in the first place. The environment is always communicating. The question is whether or not you're reading it in real time or you're reflecting on it after the fact. And that difference is everything. So this wasn't about who did well or who did poorly. It's about knowing where your baseline is. I know some of you guys are beginning to learn patterns. Some of you guys are now able to clearly define them, and a few people are actually starting to notice systems and not just movement, and that's progression. The next wildlife walk we do, it doesn't change an expectation, it just tightens an execution. So less of that vague reporting and more structured observations and more consistency in what you choose to track. Remember this, the field doesn't change, your attention to it does, and that's what we're training. You're not just hikers, you're observers, people who can read what's in front of them. So we're gonna run this again, and we're gonna see your guys' improvements by what you bring back from the field. So good job to those who participated. We'll build from here. Big Country out.